Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are diving into an absolutely incredible journey that bridges ancient mysticism right up to the edge of modern quantum physics. We'll be riding shotgun through the profound life of a young boy named Mukunda, who, you probably know, the world later came to revere as Paramahansa Yogananda. Through his eyes, we're going to unpack some genuinely mind-bending concepts that fuse pure spirituality with hard mathematical science. So get ready, because you're about to see the universe just a little differently.
Right off the bat, let's just sit with the exact same question young Mukunda asks himself: what lies beyond the darkness of our closed eyes? This isn't just some nice poetic thought to slap on a bumper sticker. For him, this was a rigorous scientific inquiry. And it's this exact curiosity that pulls us instantly into the really deep cosmic waters of his spiritual journey. Section 1. Yearning for the Divine.
Okay, so looking at his early life, Mukunda felt this intense, almost past-life-level yearning for the divine from a super young age. He was born in 1893 in Gorakhpur, and his childhood was pretty nomadic, bouncing around from Lahore to Bareilly. But the absolute pivot point, that happened during his adolescence in Calcutta with the tragic death of his mother. That devastating loss literally shattered his earthly attachments. It was the spark that ignited a relentless, burning quest to find a true guru in the Himalayas.
But here is where it gets fascinating. Before she passed away, his mother left him something extraordinary, a mystical silver amulet. And according to the text, this wasn't just a family heirloom, it was a materialized gift from a sadhu, basically a physical anchor to the spiritual world meant to guide him. Oh, and the wildest part? He was told that the second he found his true spiritual purpose, this amulet would just vanish right back into the ether. Knowing that completely sparked his lifelong obsession with the hidden laws governing our unseen universe.
Moving right along to Section 2, Encounters with Miracles.
Now, as Mukunda is searching, he starts running into these everyday people who casually, and I mean casually, defy the very laws of physical science that you and I accept as absolute facts. Take Swami Pranabananda, a friend of his father's. Mukunda actually witnessed him perform the literal miracle of bilocation. The Swami was meditating at the bathing ghats and at the exact same time conversing at his home. When asked about it, the Swami just basically explained that he broadcasts his presence through the subtle laws of the universe. He showed young Mukunda that physical boundaries, they are merely suggestions if you're a true yogi.
Which brings us to Section 3, the Himalayan quest and finding the true guru.
So Mukunda is desperate to get to the Himalayas. He even makes this honestly hilarious attempt to run away under the incredibly convincing aliases of Thomas and Thompson. Unsurprisingly, that failed. But his relentless drive did eventually lead him right to his destiny, meeting Swami Sri Yukteswar. This guy was a majestic master. He didn't just deal in vague spiritual metaphors, he blended earthly wisdom with what we can only call cosmic mathematics. He broke down miracles into perfectly understandable, absolute architectural geometry.
And here's the absolute game changer. Sri Yukteswar initiated him into Kriya Yoga. Now forget whatever preconceptions you might have, because Kriya Yoga is not a religion. It is a highly advanced, mathematically structured science of human evolution. We're talking about a psychophysiological method that literally decarbonizes human blood, recharges it with oxygen, and converts your physical breath directly into life force. It's a biological life hack of the highest order.
Let's really unpack that in Section 4, the science of Kriya. 1,000 years. Let that number sink in. On the astonishing mathematical scale laid out in these ancient texts, doing just 8.5 hours of proper Kriya Yoga practice equates to a millennium, 1,000 years, of natural, disease-free human evolution. By using deep concentration, the yogi is able to radically accelerate the natural evolutionary cycle of the human brain. But because of this extreme acceleration, it absolutely must be practiced gradually. Think about your ordinary human nervous system as a 50-watt light bulb. It does its job, it lights the room, but it has hard limits. Now, a fully realized Kriya Yogi system, that's a 1 million watt bulb. If you try to plug 1 million watts of raw cosmic energy into a standard 50-watt bulb, boom, it shatters. The physical body has to be systematically trained over time to handle that immense voltage.
So how's it actually done? Well, it's a very distinct sequential process. First up, the practitioner controls and calms the breath. Next, they decouple their life force from the external senses. Basically, you're literally untethering yourself from sight, sound, and touch. Third, they direct that newly freed energy up and down the spinal chakras. And finally, that process completely merges their individual awareness with the vast, abstract energy grids of cosmic consciousness.
Section 5. Maya and Modern Science. This is where it all comes together.
This is the striking intersection where Eastern mysticism and Einstein practically high-five each other. In ancient texts, Maya is described as the cosmic illusion. It's this magical measuring power of nature that creates all the duality we see: light and dark, joy and sorrow, solid and liquid. And guess what? That perfectly aligns with the theory of relativity. It proves that what you and I perceive as solid, unchangeable matter is actually nothing more than energy and light in motion.
Look, Western physical science is amazing, for sure, but it spends all its time studying the rules of the illusion itself, stuff like Newton's laws of action and reaction. Eastern spiritual science, on the other hand, bypasses the illusion entirely to study the creator of the illusion. A master yogi gets that if everything is fundamentally made of light, then by manipulating that cosmic light, you can literally manipulate the basic building blocks of existence.
And we actually have the modern proof. 186,300 miles per second. Einstein proved that time and space are totally relative, right? The only absolute constant in this entire ever-changing physical universe is the speed of light. This huge scientific breakthrough validated a claim yogis made thousands of years ago that the entire cosmos is, at its core, fundamentally constructed of pure, unchanging light. Which brings us to this one beautiful, mind-blowing analogy, the cosmic motion picture. Yogananda realized our everyday reality is exactly like sitting in a movie theater. The universe is just a cinematic projection. You, me, the planets, we are merely light and shadow. And that duality, the extreme joy and the deep sorrow we feel so intensely, it's just the dramatic tension required for a good plot. The creator is that single, pure beam of white light coming out of the projector booth, and we are simply an audience in a grand, multi-dimensional theater. It's a fantastic reminder to, maybe not take the plot of our lives too seriously.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on as you step back into your everyday world of Maya. If literally everything you see, feel, and experience is just a cosmic motion picture made of light and shadow, who is the true director of your reality? Who's holding the projector? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and remember to always keep questioning the nature of your universe. See you next time.